Hi, this is Carol Harnett with a slightly different one-take Work.Love.Play.Daily video blog. I had a convergence of experiences yesterday, and I'm going to really go in a different direction today on this video blog, particularly because it's a Friday and probably a lot fewer people are watching, and in many ways this is meant for a very specific audience. I'm going to recap for you why am I doing this blog, the memories that these series of posts that I've been doing around disability that I'm still being asked to do more of, and an experience I had back in 2004 converged for me yesterday. I started to do this video blog, as I've explained to some, because I used to do a written blog. It was a private one. It was, the nickname for it was The List. It had over 1,000 people on it. You had to earn your way onto the list. But as I went into my own business and got just really swamped with work, I couldn't keep up the writing or the quality of the writing. And so I respectfully have sunsetted the list, except for an occasional note that I do for just a select subset of people on that list. But enough of the people who are on the original blog, written blog, kept bugging me to do something, and this was the simplest thing to do. Yes, I apologize. This is a handheld iPhone and me hitting video, so I apologize that it's not slick. But as Seth Godin would say, you just have to ship it, and that's what I'm doing. It's also why this is one take. So what's the convergence? My HR executive column that is will be up until, or actively up until Monday when the new one goes up, but then will be in the archives if you want to read it, which is called Selling the Problem of Absence. And side note, FCC regs, I am hired and paid by HR executive, but they don't influence nor require this blog post. That done. What has happened is I have actually started in video to tell the truth and everything I know about disability. And I've had a passion around, I guess, always telling the truth, but particularly around this topic since about 2004. And in 2004, a gentleman that I knew, at the time I worked for the Hartford, and he was a quote-unquote competitor who worked at MetLife. His name was Steve Clark. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award at that time, a combined meeting that no longer exists, which was the Integrated Benefits Institute and the National Business Group on Health. And I'm going to read something for you so you can appreciate what happened there. But after Steve had made his acceptance speech for this Lifetime Achievement Award, we got about an hour to spend by ourselves one-on-one. Everyone after the break went back into the main meeting room, and literally it was just the two of us. And we wound up in this discussion about telling the truth. And he gave me the transcript of his speech, and he said, "Carol, I know you write a lot, I know you speak a lot, and I entrust this to you because I know you'll do something with it." And so we went on and talked a little bit more, and I said to him that I committed to him that I would get as many people from the disability insurance industry and third-party administrative world in one place, and at a conference we would do a panel and we would tell the audience, which the target would be mainly employers, but certainly consultants as well, but mainly the employers, the truth. And we would answer any question that they had about disability and what we really knew versus what we always told people. Not that we were lying, but we just didn't always tell everybody everything we knew. And he said, "Carol, you're never going to pull it off." And I said, "I'll take that challenge." Well, Steve Clark passed away probably within a year of our conversation. And I have worked over the years, 3 different organizations trying to get this panel done, and it's, you know what, it's just not going to happen. So I'm thinking Steve's in heaven, and he's laughing right now as I publicly admit that I couldn't pull it off. What I think the lesson I really learned from Steve now, 7 years later, is that much like he did in the speech he gave, you just have to take responsibility yourself. And you have to just decide you can't get a group of people to do what potentially they don't want to do. You have to just do it yourself. So really, this video blog and the column I write and particularly the posts I've been doing lately are really in respect to Steve Clark. Now, the convergence yesterday was I had been down with the flu for a couple days, and I finally got my column together and submitted it to my editors last night or yesterday afternoon, and it's on mental health. And Steve's speech to me had elements of that in it. So if you will bear with me, I'm going to try to switch hands and do this. I'm going to, for once, actually look down and read to you, because this is the speech that Steve Clark gave me the transcript for, and I think it's important to read. what triggered my memory about this speech was I found an old journal that was from 2005. So following this interaction I had with Steve, and I had written down a quote, and it said, "The Honorable Claimant is in a time of need." And a lot of Steve's speech is about the Honorable Claimant. And in case you don't think that most claimants aren't honorable, keep this in mind. In a post that, or a column that I wrote earlier in the year, James Rotolo, who is a friend of mine and is the fraud principal at SAS, said that only 3% of disability claimants are fraudulent, intentionally fraudulent. Only 3 to 5% of workers' comp claimants are intentionally fraudulent. And in the private disability world, of which 3% of people are intentionally fraudulent, the majority of that intentional fraud resides in individual disability, not in group. So it is with great pleasure, and some, obviously I'm going to be looking at my computer screen, some patience on your part, that I would like to read to you the notes from Steve Clark's speech. Steve Clark, who again was formerly from MetLife, gave the speech after he received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Integrated Benefits Institute. And this speech was given, I apologize, I just screwed up as I scrolled. This speech was given on November 12th, 2004. So here I go, now envision Steve Clark, and now I'm switching hands yet again. Okay, I am truly touched by this award and stand humbled before you and thankful to be here today. This is the last time I'll be honored to speak to this group, and if I may, I would like to challenge each of you toward innovation, improvement, and quality. On a personal note, I want to say thanks. In 2000, at the Washington Business Group on Health meeting in October, as chairman of the IBI, I used my time to ask for help. I had just been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and was given a 0% survival rate at 8 months from the time of my diagnosis. I know it won't surprise you. Many of you helped. You made calls, you pulled strings, you sent emails, you provided support cards and letters, and I am here 4 years later. Thanks to all of you, and I dare to tell you that I am a better and gentler person for the baggage I must carry until the end. The ride is rough for all that touch and know me, particularly my family and close friends. But I am blessed because few people get to play this high-stakes game and learn so much about themselves in the process. Above all, I have learned that illness instructs. It forced me to reevaluate everything and realize that physical ability is secondary always to tolerance and connections with people in love. The challenge is to live well and function under all circumstances, including these I never anticipated, like a serious or terminal illness. I know many of you share my experience and others choose to go it alone. It is about coping. Coping is quiet, there is no fanfare or parades. Each person must develop his or her own coping mechanisms day to day. All of you are partners in coping. Personally as a father or daughter, mother or son, spouse or friend. Professionally as a case manager or a healthcare provider, employer or consultant. I say thanks again as I am now on the other side as a disabled person. You are in an honorable and important profession, but with honor comes responsibility. So please, always be mindful that I am the voice on the phone, the name on the list, the error on the exception report, or the statistic in the report, and what I, the seriously ill employee, needs is for you and your business to help me cope. Thanks. So again, this is in tribute to Steve Clark, formerly of MetLife. Thanks.